What we got here, Bode Mode?
Real big fish. Your guts, I hate them.
There they are. All right. 1067 The Fan. Appreciate everyone checking out the show today. Got to give a giant shout out to my good friends at Jerry's Subs and Pizza, Jerry's USA. Thanks to Jerry's for dropping off food for today's show. Home of the world's best cheesesteak, New York-style pizza, and overstuffed subs. Jerry's delivers, by the way. Your sub joint doesn't. Order online at jerrysusa.com for the nearest location. Follow them on Twitter at jerrysusa. Bode Mode, that was probably the largest amount of skits and bits we've ever had behind the scenes here, is it not?
That was right up there with the most skit scene and bit scene I've ever seen.
They gave me a Jerry's Gold Star, which I'm proudly wearing on watchlavardukes.com. And they also, I have been, and I'm doing this not just for me, people, but I'm doing it for you. I have been hammering away at these guys. They're good people, right? And I love their food. I've literally been eating at Jerry's my whole life. I would go there with my old man and my little brother in Springfield. We go there and get there like a $5.99 pizza day that we go there. But their subs are incredible. I have been hammering them to add fried pickles to the garnish menu or whatever that is, just to have it be an item, because I know they already have the fried, jalapeno dimes. They brought in a whole mess of fried pickles today for the actual subs they brought for us, and they said they're considering getting it on there if they get the right response. So I think most of you like-minded Americans out there are with me when you know that fried pickles make any sandwich better. So tweet them at Jerry's USA and tell them that is what's best for business. So moving on, we'll get back to the LeBron James stuff a little bit later on in the show. Greg Amsinger is going to join us here at 4 p.m. to talk some Nationals and the Beltway series, everything going else in the world of baseball. This movie comes out this weekend, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And we're looking at prequels again. And prequels seem to be the direction that we're going in. Sequels still going strong, the latest being, of course, that wretched Transformers 4 movie, which is, I believe, been the #1 movie in America for 3 weeks in a row. But it brings back the age-old question that we've had on this show and on Chad Dukes versus the World is, what needs a prequel? What series out there, what movie standalone, what trilogy, I don't care, what deserves to get a prequel on the big screen? That's the question that I'd like to ask all of you right now, because this Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie, they're comparing it to Empire Strikes Back. They're saying it's one of the best prequels of all time. What else out there would you like to see a prequel for? And sometimes they don't work. Like the Star Wars prequels were subpar. I think that we can all acknowledge that. But I think sometimes good can come out of them. And I think sometimes it's easier because you don't have to bring back the same characters that you had in order to make a sequel. So 800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. If you could choose a prequel for any movie, any television show, I mean, go down the list, what would you like for it to be? One that immediately came to mind for me, I got a couple, because I think about this stuff a lot because I'm a loser. Dexter. The television show Dexter, I would love to see a prequel for. If you watched that show, you know that you saw flashes of him as a younger person becoming a serial killer, but he was established and set up in Miami when the show began. I would love to see some stuff of what took place beforehand. The Hannibal show is doing really well. People really seem to be digging that, and I think serial killers, for whatever reason, are fascinating forms of entertainment, especially if it's fictional, for God's sakes. I would love to see a Dexter prequel. Bodemo, did you have one in mind?
Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen a couple recently. Well, I think X-Men First Class kind of took it further back. Like,
yeah.
The original X-Men movie.
Another successful prequel.
Right. They started a little bit further along. X-Men First Class went further back. And then also the show that you kind of put me on to is Gotham, which is getting a lot of run recently. And it's showing you why Gotham became so bad and such a disaster, to the point where you see Batman or Bruce Wayne grow up. So that looks really cool. But those are two that first came to my mind. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to rack my brain for ones that I would like to see prequels of. I know the new Transformers movie was not very good, but maybe if we actually saw Transformers and how they got to the point where Transformers, or whatever the what's it called? Their planet?
Cybertron.
Yeah, how that got to the point of where it was. They kind of mention it in the earlier movies.
What's the planet called? The hell out of here. Drive me nuts. Yeah, I think that if you could get maybe some, I don't know, those get really nerdy. I think someone else would need a helmet other than Michael Bay if that's possible. The weird thing is that Godfather 2 was kind of a prequel. If you think about it, because you go back and you see Vito Corleone and how he rises to power in the neighborhood. I always dug that. I always thought that that was very cool. There's all kinds of crime movie universes that I would love to see a prequel for. I got one right off the top of my head, The Departed. I would love to see Frank Costello rise to power in South Boston. If they made a prequel for The Departed, I would be there with my ambag going one way and my you-know-what going the other. All right, those are some ideas that we have. I'd like to do a segment of calls on this if you guys are so inclined. 800-636-1067. 800-636-1067 is the phone number. If there was a prequel to be made, much like the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie that apparently is getting tremendous reviews coming out this weekend. We know Gotham is coming out, a prequel to the whole Batman franchise. Give us another one. What's another one that you think could work? I said Dexter. I threw out that I'd like to see a Departed prequel. Bodie wants to see the Transformers, even though he doesn't even know where they're from. Superfan number 99 over there. I'm going to make Wayne Gretzky's head bleed. I think that there's probably a lot of ones that we haven't gotten so far that you can come up with on the phones. 800-636-1067 is the Hadid carpet cleaning listener line. Ring us up and let us know what you'd like to see a prequel made for. Again, big thanks to Jerry's for the food drop. Delicious cheesesteaks for everybody to enjoy here at the radio station. Follow them on Twitter at Jerry's USA and put me over for the fried pickles. We got to make this happen. It's something that needs to take place. We'll take some of your calls next. It's Chad Dukes on the Fan.
I'm Lex Friedman.